The big building in the center of Maoping that used to be the landlord's house is now the brigade headquarters. Once a week, the Communist Party branch committee meets to discuss village affairs.
那么现在都有好少数的学员一起来的给完到了，是吧？完到给起来了，是吧？都是7、8斗斤，8把来去，那么看起来了，今年这6年了，8、6年了，看起来是一个大丰收的一个年纪。
These are the people who run Maoping. Secretary Fang and his deputy, Mrs. Wang, with the brigade leader and 4 others. The committee is much less concerned with ideological questions than it would have been in the past. Their basic task is to implement the policies that are decided in Peking and put them into practice at the grassroots level.
这个争取呢，都贡献国家的这个田园的建设，都这个争取呢，贡献呢这个国家这个田园的建设，那么特别现在来讲呢，这个田的问题呢，这个比较重要，那么我们的呢，电量也要电，开机器也要电，都需要电。
这个今朝呢，我们的这2个部分，是啊，算是这个第1个部分我们已经研究过了。 是啊，跟你们打过知识听。在全面开展新革命的各项任务中
Today, the official policy is pragmatism, how to increase production and persuade people to work hard. It may offend some of the old Maoists, but revolutionary purity is no longer the top priority. Now it's the making of money. The rice field is soaked with the sweat of peasants, says a famous Chinese poem. Remember that the food on your plate is all hardship, every grain of it. Harvesting rice is back-breaking work, but this year, they say, it doesn't feel quite so bad. At last, after more than 20 years of collective farming, each family is simply working for itself. The so-called responsibility system has been in operation for 12 months now, and the people of Maoping and their leaders are in no doubt as to its success.
Now, 我们以前还没搞出人自己，我们可以给使用了哈，在这个土地上了哈，他在劳动人不给人，这个出钱，到出力人不给，出钱也有的，那么我们以前呢都是吃大锅饭的思想。每一个使用物业了。 那么都能跟水果去找了也，能够水果的干活了是有水果的市主任，那么干起来个粮食都能给你水果呢，自己一苦了，那么现在你就那这能给水果呢，都得。
Shao Dexian has looked after the accounts in Maoping since the days of land reform in the early 1950s. His ledgers are proof that the more realistic view of human nature taken by the present leadership in Peking is paying off. This year, they've earned just over 200 yuan a head in the village. That's about £70, and close to the national average. And it's not only the production of rice and timber that's affected. Mrs. Hu grows all the vegetables she needs on her own private plot. Each family is allocated a patch of land to use as they please. They are now positively encouraged to supplement their income by selling vegetables or by raising chickens or pigs. They call it domestic sideline production, and it puts extra cash in their pockets. All this means there's more money around. The villagers are no longer so dependent for their diet on what they can grow. Many people now have some savings in the bank. They have become consumers, and there's more for them to spend their money on than there used to be. The commune has recently opened this shop in Maoping. They're very proud of it. They call it their department store. It's a sign of how things are changing. Many things, of course, remain the same. It'll be a long time before the new prosperity affects the nature of their working lives. Mechanization is costly and manpower is cheap. There are 800 million peasants in China to be kept employed. The country people distrust machinery anyway. Peasants can almost never get permits to live in a town. The nation needs them to stay where they are. So they'll go on working as they have done for generations. The children of these men who bring down the charcoal from the high mountain kilns will probably do just the same. They will rely upon their shoulders and their muscles and the strength in their bodies. When Mr. Hu needs a haircut, he goes to Ye Guanjing, the village barber. He's a barber because he was born with one arm deformed and couldn't do heavy work. He's lived alone since his mother died. No peasant family wanted their daughter to marry a man who is physically weak. But he's made himself a living and he doesn't complain. By 5 o'clock in October, the sun is getting low. The men will soon return from the fields and the mountains. It's the same routine every evening. Mao Zedong was fond of extolling the nobility of peasant life. They may have dirt on their hands, he said, and cowshit on their feet, but they are the purest of all people. It's still ideologically correct to see the peasants in this light, but few of those who live in the cities would want to change places with them. The work is extraordinarily hard. The routine is inexorable. There's nowhere to go and little to do except work. Every day is just like any other. And yet perhaps it's this very sense of routine and rhythm and the unchanging pattern of existence that gives such underlying strength to Chinese peasant life. The rhythm of the seasons, the rhythm of the day, the rhythm of the family. For Mrs. Hu, it's what living is essentially about. There never used to be much to entertain them in the evenings. But now at last they've got television in Maoping. There are 4 sets in the village, and it's standing room only every night. What can they be thinking of when they look at the world that lies beyond Maoping? They're absorbed by what they see, but how enticing is it? All that is most important about village life depends on continuity. So far, it has survived a century of turmoil and revolution. But will the recent changes make them long for new horizons? Or will they want to settle even deeper into the life they've always known?
The material